I feel like this is the best way to do the reflection for the Polaris Art Show because there was a good 6 days and a lot of work and I just don't want to type it. So I'm just gonna go through everything, and I'm sorry if it's a little dark, the contrast on the camera. I'm doing this on my phone because my laptop has decided to not work. Okay, so day one was probably the art show was March 20th. Day one was probably March 17th. There's 3 preparation days before the actual art show. The first preparation day actually caught me in the dark. Chelsea had no art whatsoever up. It was just the blank section, and yeah, there was just nothing there. And she had like 35 pieces there, and so we had to hang all those up, and she just didn't know where to begin. I think she literally had 1 piece up. And then there was actually 6 other art shows going on along with hers, and so some of those pieces were up already, and basically just the beforehand preparation, we had to organize and decide which style we were going to do, if we were going to do linear or salon style, which we ended up doing the salon style, which basically means you just had a bunch of pieces, kind of randomly arranged, but it was, looked good. And then we had to hang the median, which basically you align that to make sure that all the pieces are straight. And then we started hanging pieces. And after we actually had them all stacked and we had everything aligned and together, that's when we started hanging stuff up. It required a lot of nails and a lot of hammering. But she had 1 piece, and it was her transformation piece. And she wanted it like way up there, so we hung that. It was probably about, I would say, 10 to 12 feet above the ground, and that was her biggest piece, actually like the biggest piece at the school. And we hung that up, and I think there's some pictures of it that I took that I'll post on the website. And we hung that up, and that was a challenge because we had to get the ladder, and we had to get the 20-foot ladder, not the little 6-foot one. And I had to get up there, and I had to hang it, and she had to hold it while she was standing on a chair on her tippy toes, and it was just crazy to get it up there. But when she saw it, she was so happy to have it up there, because it kind of just, oversaw the entire gallery. It was just, up there so big, and she was just really happy. And I don't know, after 8 hours of hanging stuff, finally we were about halfway done. Most of it was, we had to take half the stuff down because she, second-guessed herself and was like, oh, I don't know if I want this here. And so we took that down, and they were like, well, the sun doesn't hit this that way, and I want Bree to look this way on the wall, and, oh, I just want everything to be perfect. So, just in her, uncertainty, we had to take some stuff down, put it back up, and then after 4 hours, there was a choir concert, so we had to take a break. But amidst taking that break, we finally started decorating. And then the next day, it was about 8 hours. But the next day, so either March 18th or 19th, I left school early. I left school early, and I got there at around 1. And then again, we stayed there till 6 hanging stuff up. But finally, all the pieces were hung. And then we just had to decorate. And then it just looked so good, and she was just so happy that I was there to help her, because she didn't have anyone else to help her at the time. And some of her friends helped, and while I wasn't there, but while I was there, it was just us, and we were just a big team effort to get things up there, and just so talented, just such good work, and just to be a part of that was. It was a true blessing. It felt really nice. And then the next day, the actual art show was so short. I mean, in comparison to the, 13 hours of work that we had to go through just to get the stuff up, there was literally 3 hours of the art show. And the whole time, she was just meeting and greeting with everyone, and everyone was congratulating her, including myself. And then I asked her to prom, which, made my day. And that was March 20th. And, yeah, we got all that stuff up there. And her decorations were great. I didn't even see the finished product until I was actually there. And then I took some pictures of the art show, and then, I don't know, probably a good 100 people went through there, and they were amazed. I mean, just, they're like, oh, the setup's perfect, the artwork was more than perfect, it was extraordinary, and you know, it was done. And like that, snap of a finger, abracadabra, it was over. All that stress, all that agony that she went through, all those long hours of painting was over. And then it was time to take stuff down. And so after the art show, the next day we had to start taking stuff down. So that Friday we you know, started unhooking the nails and then took piece down, and that takes a lot longer than you think it would. It took just about as long to hang that stuff up as it took to take it down. And you know, then we had to look, and we were like, oh, there's a lot of holes in the wall. We should probably patch these. So we had to start doing patchwork, and I came Monday to do patchwork, and that was another 2 hours. And I was like, okay, we have to paint too. Or she told me, she was like, guess what, Stanley, you have to paint. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Do more work. And then it just, you know, the whole time, like, I was kind of frustrated to do all the work, but at the same time, I was like, yo, this is cool. This is bonding. This is construction. Home Depot, Bob the Builder. Yes, you can. And I started painting, and then she was like, well, baby, you just have to paint the holes. You don't have to paint the whole gallery. And I was like, that's going to look stupid. So knowing me and my, you know, willingness to just do everything and I guess make life harder for myself, I decided to paint the entire section that she had. And that took such a long time. And then eventually I got lazy, and I was just like, I don't want to do this. And so, I mean, that was just Monday, and we were about halfway done painting. And then Tuesday we were in a hurry to get everything done because everything was due Wednesday. And Mabel was like, okay, all the patchwork, all the painting has to be done. And then you have to put the pillars back, and everything just has to be done and ready for the next art show on Thursday, because they do art shows every week. And so we hung that up, or I'm sorry, we finished that, and painting was done, all the art was down, and by Tuesday at around 4, all the work was done. But just that short amount of time, it was just about a week, probably a good 21 hours of work in just that week. And I don't know, to be a part of that, it was definitely one of the best memories I have with Chelsea. And, you know, I didn't even think about getting cast hours for it. I didn't even think I could get, you know, any type of service hours for it. But then I was like, you know what? I helped Chelsea build this thing. I helped Chelsea tear it down. I did not help her do the art, because I did not do art. But setting it up. And then she wrote me a note. I almost want to read it, but it's too cheesy. It's too sappy. I'm not going to read it. But she wrote me a note, and she just told me that she couldn't have done that art show without me. She couldn't have got everything hung up in that short amount of time without me. And it just touched my heart, because I felt truly appreciated for something. I felt more involved with something than I ever had. And so it was nice. It was definitely a nice little thing to be a part of. And I don't know how I could, as IB says, extrapolate that back to my life. I guess I would just say, you know, there are certain things, certain events where they just can't be done without teamwork. And, you know, I'm usually pretty apathetic when it comes to things, but I think it's just because it was my girlfriend's art show that I wanted to be there for her in every way. And I think it's just, if I could, you know, connect that willingness to be there for someone else who, you know, isn't so connected to me, but know that, you know, they're trying to get something done. And if you can be a part of that goal, if you can truly, you know, join together as a community, you know, and strive for something selflessly, knowing that just seeing their success can put a smile on your face, it's a truly good feeling. And I think I could take away from that. I think that's what I would take away from this experience. But you know, let me finish up here, because I've been talking for about 10 minutes and it doesn't even feel like 10 minutes, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So thank you for listening, and I hope this is enough proof. I'll also post some more pictures up, and I'll keep you posted. But I think that's about it for my reflection. Okay, good night.